Kwesi Appiah. Assistant coach for the Black Stars is Tanko Ibrahim. Wow! A new role created in the national team is the position of the technical coordinator, and that position goes to Stephen Tornado. Michael Autry is the video analyst. And Ismail Hamidu is our welfare officer, and he will also be in charge as the case manager. Before you fire your questions at me, let me announce to you that the coach himself will explain the role created for Kwesi Appiah when the time is due. But first of all, let me use this opportunity to thank you very much for coming here this afternoon to witness the outdooring of Coach Kwesi Appiah. It will be in a good stead that the acting president of the Ghana Football Association will have some few words before we hear from Coach Kwesi Appiah.
My duty here this afternoon is very simple: to introduce to you the reappointment of former Ghanaian international, former coach of the Black Stars, Kwesi Appiah. About 3 years ago, we parted ways nicely, and today he's come back like what has happened in so many jurisdictions. Even in our own jurisdictions, we've had times when the likes of CKJMF, the late CKJMF, was once the head coach. He was reappointed, same as Coach Sam Dudu on several occasions came back as the coach of the Black Stars. Today, Coach Kwesi Appiah has been reappointed back as the head coach of the Black Stars. Coach Kwesi Appiah will be responsible also as the head coach of the Chan team, or the local Black Stars as some people will call it, or the Black Star B, as my friend and colleague, the chairman of the Chan team, has just told me this morning that he wants the team to be called the Black Star B. I want to share with you some few milestones set for Kwesi Appiah, Kwesi Appiah. It is not the case that because Kwesi Appiah is one of our own, and so therefore he was given the job on a silver platter. Kwesi Appiah, like so many other coaches, went through screening, and he applied, he was shortlisted, interviewed, and he was given the job on merit. Let me state here clearly that during the interview sessions, Coach Kwesi Appiah exhibited and proved that he understands the Ghanaian situation better, he understands the position vacant better, and he is more prepared and more matured to take up the position of the Black Stars. And so the selection committee had no difficulty at all to appoint him as the coach of the Black Stars. Now I want to take you through some of the milestones set for Coach Kwesi Appiah. First is to build a very strong national team, A and B. 2 is to qualify us to the AFCON 2019. 3 is to win us the AFCON 2019. And 4, he should employ his possible best to qualify the Black Stars to the World Cup 2018. And let me repeat it. I want to go back again, and I'm sure these are the most important ones. We say that Coach James Kwesi Appiah should qualify us to the AFCON 2019. I don't think this is a tall order. You are referring to a Ghana Black Star team that has been to the semi-final of the last 6 editions. So to say a coach should qualify us to AFCON is not a tall order.
Fellow Ghanaians, the media men, I'm really pleased to see each and every one here today. I mean, you being here, I don't think is to look at the Vice President's face. I believe that you're here because of me, and I really appreciate that. I would like to actually thank all Ghanaians for giving me this opportunity, more especially to the FA, to having confidence in me and giving me opportunity for the second time. I also would like to thank the President of the country, Nana Akufo-Addo, for the support that is put behind me when I visited him, that you always be there to support me. And then to the ministry for also their support when I came over. I believe every single Ghanaian, majority, you don't expect everyone to love your coming back, but automatically, the good thing is majority of Ghanaians, are really happy to see our own managing our affairs. And for that reason, I really, really appreciate everyone for that opportunity. I cannot do this work alone. I'm 100% sure Ghanaians wanted me to come back with the intention that our own should try to achieve something for our country. So I will plead that every Ghanaian should put his prayers and every support that you have, every suggestions that you have that will make the country proud again. I will urge each and everyone to be behind me. I will do everything within me to make sure the success or the laurels that Ghana used to win, we are able to achieve. During my term, I will do the best within me to make sure that Ghana has got a team, not a team for today, a team for 2-3 years' time, a team for the next 10 years. That's my ambition. Even if I'm here for 1 month or 1 year, I want to put something down that, okay, Kwesi started this, but the other side of it is, how are we going to continue, a project that has been started? So, and as I said earlier, I can never do anything without the support and help from each and everyone here, especially the media. On this note, I'll say a big thank you for coming, and I'll make myself available for any questions. Just don't give me hard questions to answer. Thank you very much.
Please, you heard the caveat, no hard questions. 1 + 1, 2. Yes. We are one. Thank you very much, gentlemen. You introduce yourself.
Okay. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi, Kwesi Sports. Coach, the day you arrived, you made mention that you want to make the Black Stars big again. You just heard the acting president of the Ghana FA tell you what they want you to do. Do you think you are going to build a team over and over again to get it right?
I know in terms of capacity building, what you are bringing to negatives of the past.
Thank you very much.
What is the new thing that you bring it on board? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe if the question comes, I should answer it so that I'm getting old and some of the questions. As the first question, I think it's got to do with the capacity building. You see, during my first statement, I did say that, look, Ghana, all along, we've been, I don't want to say we've been making mistakes, but I always believe that, there should be consistency, with our structure. When I talk about our structure, I'm talking about, if you have a team now, what is the competition in the team now? What are we looking at next 2-3 years? Are these same players going to be around? What are the structures that we put around for the under-20 or the under-17? So our planning should always be, the short term, what do we have to do? Or medium term, what are we doing? And then on the long term. So once we have this in place, automatically, even if I'm not there, and I keep saying that because I always believe that I'm a Ghanaian and I always love my country to be the best. So I should not think of me today. Because if I'm thinking of me today, I'll always rely on the very few experienced and old players that we have around. But I believe that it's important we introduce a lot of young players, both locally and foreign, who are doing well. We bring many of them on board. In the first place, when you do that, you bring a lot of competition in the team itself, so that nobody will come whoever, and for that reason, the GC is there for me. Once that competition is created, you are looking, okay, by a year or two, these players are moving out. We bring in the under-23s who are doing well, we're pushing them to the senior team. So when there's that structures, automatically the nation, will bloom for a very long period, instead of always looking at today. I don't know whether it answers your question, but this is how I can frame it. Now, on the second question, the new things, I think there are many things that I'm trying to introduce. I've got a new technical coordinator, which never used to be, in the person of Kwesi Appiah, and that's on the lighter side. But, I'm looking at a situation where one of the things that is very keen to my heart is working in collaboration with the technical directorate. I want a situation where all the coaches of all the junior teams, we should have a situation where we can coordinate a lot, so that tactically, what the first team is doing, we should relay down to the under-17, the under-20s, in such a way that there should be that flow. So if I pick a player from under-17 and I bring him to the national team, tactically he knows how we play, and it becomes easier for him to fit in. The other part of it that I'm looking at is making sure that, especially with the local players, I'm looking at a situation where, some of them, those who are really, really doing well, those who deserve to be in the senior team, it's not just that I would just love to bring anybody from the local scene just for bringing him sake. I want to bring a local team player who I'm 100% sure can play, to bring success to the nation. In a way, once that is done, we encourage the local players, and at the same time, we also encourage the local teams as well. So that is something on my heart, that at any given time, we give them opportunity. But if we give them an opportunity and they let us down, then automatically, the whole thing will have been falling off.
Coach, I think I have one question for Coach. Congratulations, Coach. You just introduced a new innovation, like the technical coordinator for the former Blasters captain, Kwesi Appiah. May I know what his new role entails? That is one. George, did the FA pay any compensation for the Sudanese coach, Sudanese club of Kwesi Appiah? If so, how much was it? Thank you.
Yeah, I think maybe I should go through it.
Yeah. go through the list and maybe explain.
No, can't appear there.
Okay. Yeah, you see, previous years we used to call Stephen Appiah's role as the team manager, and now, you know, that role you used to take care of the keys and what do you call it, jerseys and stuff, you know. So now I want a new vision, and my vision is to make sure I bring someone who can coordinate between the players and the technical team, and then all the players even to the management team. I'm looking at a situation where Stephen will not just be there and wait that, okay, we're going to come, so he joins us. I want a situation where I can send Stephen, go to WA, go and look at a match there and give him information on the particular player so that I can follow up later. And looking at his caliber, if he comes and he tells me, well, I've seen a right back who is doing well, automatically, you know, and I want to see that he gets more involved. At the same time, you know, he's one guy, you know, who's been there, who's been in the system, he's played to a highest level, and he knows the mentality of players who can also help, you know, motivate them in a way. And there are so many things that I think this role, you know, yeah, I could even send him, go and monitor a player somewhere in Europe or wherever. But the good thing is I want to empower him so that it should not be this role forever. I want to see Stephen like maybe by the next 2, 3 years or 4 years. We never know. Stephen, you know, might depend on his interests. If he's interested in coaching after following us for some time, you never know. One day he can be of great help for the nation in terms of coaching.
First of all, we didn't sign the contract with Sudan, and we didn't push Coach James Kwesi Appiah out of his contract. He applied, and so we didn't pay any compensation to him. If there's any contractual obligation on his part, it's up to him with his former employers. For us, we did not pay him.
I asked that question because when he was signed on as the Blasters coach, he was in contract with the
so he may be old and he has to go and pay.
Because I hear we have only one. So what will be your criteria for selecting players into the Black Stars?
No, the selection to the Blasters is simple. It's about competence. Who can help the nation? You know, I don't believe in, you know, names or whatever. Names are good, but if the name will come and will not perform, it's not competent enough, then it's not worth it. What we are looking at players who are prepared to kill themselves for the nation. Once they wear the national color, we want to see players who want to die on the pitch, you know, for the sake of success. So it will all depend on the success, and at the same time, you know, I said earlier that it's important we find means to make sure those who are also doing really well, you know, locally, we also, what do we call it? I think local content.
Yeah.
We try to also make sure that, you know, we encourage them. But that does not mean that if he does not deserve to be in there, you know, we'll call him. We will make sure that players who are called always are the real competent ones to represent the nation.
So the final 3 questions now, we are running close.
Coach, congratulations. I'm sure you heard on radio that Palmer was on radio and everywhere saying that you were not competent enough to be second class as coach. First question to Palmer is, are you competent now? And to you, how would you go this one?
Opinions were expressed prior to appointment of the coach. And we must take it that there are some of us that will see things as it is. Within that time, I never mentioned the name of the son. I referred specifically to local coaches. Now that appointment has been made, why do you think I'm here? If I don't believe in the appointment of the head coach.
You see, I think I said something earlier. Maybe I'm a different person, I don't know. But most of the time, my wives normally have problems with me. Because those who hurt me most, I still deal with them. But at the end of the day, as Mr. Palmer said, you know, everybody has got his own opinion. And sometimes, it's sometimes even better working with people that oppose you. That makes you more harder. You know, it makes you more stronger, you know, but saying that, you know, when it goes extra mile to affect your personal life, then that's different. But once it's got to do with the job, you know, I'm very flexible and open-minded, you know, to work with everyone.
Yes. The question to Palmer about what he said about Coach Kwesi Appiah. See, I think that myself and the vice are a bit of media friendly, and sometimes we like to open our mouth wide. I say this because, you see, a lot goes on behind the scenes. This is just to tell you that we argue a lot, we look at the issues, we discuss them, and so we are not just a bunch of committee who just go to rubber stamp anything and we bring it to the public. This is just to prove to you that we have divergent views, we agree to disagree, but as a committee, when we come up to say that this is what we stand for, we are about to abide by it. And so it is not he might disagree on issues, but that's what democracy is about. As a group, yes, we discuss, we deliberate, we sometimes will take it to the nines on our WhatsApp platforms and all that. And so it is very good that Mr. Palmer has agreed that as a team, yes, this is the way we have chosen, this is the way we want to go, and he support the call. And we have already started working. This morning, before this meeting, was an earlier meeting between the Black Stars Management Committee. First was with the Black Star head coach, then with the new technical team, and then before this conference. So we have started working, and I believe in a harmonious relationship, and we are working together. Thank you all for coming, and we appreciate it.
Please, what the state of the changes, the massive changes in the technical team? Is there a case that Sabankwe, Nasam Yakubu, and the other guys were not doing too well, or just wanted change? And Coach Appiah, what the state, when you formed the decision to commit $5,000 of your salary to the workers?
All appointments is done in consultation with the head coach. As far as technical issues are concerned, all appointments are done in consultation with the head coach. Let me say this, and I've answered this question elsewhere, and I'll repeat it here. We've had expatriate coaches coming into this country. And I remember very well when Coach Kwesi Appiah was appointed as an assistant coach of the Black Stars. There was a head coach, I think Klodua. If the FA didn't have a structure, which is to groom one of our own, and have allowed Klodua to come with his assistant, there won't be Kwesi Appiah today. When Coach Avram Grant came in, if we had allowed Coach Avram Grant to come with his own assistants, there will not be any Masoko. As we've always had a program where all appointments to the position of the technical team is done in consultation with the coach. If, and I will show you, if Kwesi Appiah says that he's not comfortable to work with Masoko, we cannot impose him. And he's here, so I want to give the opportunity to him so that he can answer the question.
Okay, to top up with what Vice President, Acting President. You see, it always takes all the fingers, you know. Once you have all your fingers, we call it a hand. And sometimes, you see, some of them are short, some are long. We are all not perfect. But sometimes along the line in life, you need to look at this hand. Can I get something from this hand? If something that you can get from this hand is really good to make you successful, why do you cut it off? But if for some reason you think that, look, maybe there's something small that I can gain from this small finger, and for that reason, let me keep it for a reason. It's important you look at it, and then I said earlier, I'm always looking at the nation first. It's not about me. I'm a human being. Tomorrow, you know, I'll have to leave and allow someone to continue. So let's always look at the nation first, not about individuals. And for that reason, it's always very, very important that, you know, we work as a team. That is the only way the nation can move forward. We should not look at what individual has done or what a group of people have done. It's always the nation first. Thank you. Thank you. You see, I don't know who mentioned the amount. I always believe that, you know, some of us are really fortunate, you know, to be at some positions. And all my life, I've always had the belief that it's always important that you find means of giving back to society. And for that reason, you know, I decided to create a fund where every month I'll put some money, you know, in the fund. And that money, you know, will be used for the needy. You know, the needy, the old players who cannot afford, the old coaches who cannot afford, anybody that I think should be helped along the line, you know, that is the main ambition, you know, of that fund.
Well, Benedict, I don't know whether you are familiar with the way we've been doing reshuffle in our committees. I think the last time we did a technical committee was, if my memory serves me rightly, was in 2012. The management committees have changed. You remember my vice, for instance, Mr. Osekwe, who was the chairman of the under 20. Myself, I was chairman of the under 20. The 20, yeah, the management committees have gone under transformations and changes, while the technical committees have been, they've been there for almost close to 5-6 years. So it has become necessary. And don't forget that we move people around to share their experiences and knowledge in different fields. Like we said, if you look at the team physician, Dr. Agwaku, for instance, he's been with the under 17, he's been with the under 23, he's been with the until recently we was with the local blasters. And so therefore we give the opportunities to other people to also experience other positions. Now, if you listen to the head coach, he says that in choosing Masokunedu as a deputy or an assistant coach for the local blasters, he has been away for 2.5 years. Tanko Ibrahim was also living in Germany, and so he needs an institutional memory, somebody who understands the system. And so he brought him in. And so I believe that these things inform some of the changes that we make. And I agree with you, sometimes we change and leave 2 people behind. It is because we want to keep certain people to have some stability and institutional memory to also have the movement of the job. And so that's the reason.
Do we think the 2 years is enough to achieve those tasks, considering the vision that he has? And then one of the tasks being to build a formidable team for the team A and the team B.
Thank you. I think that 2 years and another 2 years renewal. And trust me, in coaching job, you must prove that your contract must be renewed for another 2 years. So if everything goes on well, and we believe that the vision is on course, why not? The contract will be renewed.
I want you of the controversial questions.
No, you see, I don't know whether to say it's a good question or it's a bad question. Because actually nothing has changed, you know. nothing has changed, and for that reason, there's no need for any changes in terms of the captainship role. Unless if Jan is sick or injured, fine. You know, the next person, I think, which is Ayo, that is if he is in the team, then he takes the role. And that is how it's been always, for years now. You know, we're always looking at who is been in the team for a longer period. So it follows in that sequence. So, but for now, you know, there's nothing to worry about in that aspect.
I want to know whether the lack of that working document from Avram Grant will impede your work in any way. Thank you.
Hey, Obama, is the question for me or is for George? It's for me? No, you see, that's a really, really good question, because if you listen to my earlier statement, it's important, you know, always the management of the Blasters, or for instance, I would say the technical team of the Blasters should always collaborate with the technical directorate of the FA, you know, in such a way that if I'm leaving, you know, I'm supposed to leave a report. And that's the way, and for me, that's the way forward. Because if I don't leave a report for whoever is coming, how is he going to know that, okay, this is what the coach has planned, and this is the succession plan of the coach? And that's something that maybe, you know, the directorate needs to look at. And directorate can also work when he has the full support, you know, from the FA committee. Because these things, if he had, the former coach has left something with the technical director, I could have looked at it and say, okay, these are some of the lapses that, you know, we need to look at. Even yesterday, we were discussing some issue about the medical team. That look, if the medical team has also left a report, we could have looked and see that, okay, look, there are some injuries on this player or that particular player, and for that reason, you know, the new medical team, you know, find it easier treating the players. So once these things are really, really important, and maybe they should, maybe we should put it in the contract to make sure coaches are obliged, you know, to leave a report when they leave in.
Well, Obama, let me also add that at the Blaster management level, the position was taken that the last salary of the coach will have till we receive the report. With the medical report, it's already available. Dr. Baba has submitted the medical report. And fortunately, he's also still living in Ghana, so the medical report is an issue. But the last time we checked, the coach promised, and I think that together with Coach Otiakente, we did that. Ibrahim was also got in contact with him, and he has promised that he will send the report as soon as possible. But we have told him that a new coach has been appointed, and we are still waiting for it. So that's the information for you.
Last one.
Where is the mic?
Sonny.
Now I'm going to manage the two teams. You know, that's a really good question. You know, I've been thinking about it for a period of time now, and that's the main reason, you know, I had to take two assistants. And as you are aware, Maxwell will be at the local Blasters side, and at the same time, you know, at the senior side. But the most important thing is, if I was told to look, you know, to choose a team now, you know, it would have been really, really difficult. In the sense that I've been out of the country for about 2.5 years now, and fortunately or unfortunately, my assistant Tanko has also been out. You know, he's not been in the country, so it's always important that we get information, you know, or we get people who can actually help with. Because one of my main ambitions is to make sure we build a strong local blaster. Because these local blasters, these are the same people that we can push up to play the senior team. So it's not going to be easy. It's really, really difficult task, but we will do the best that we can, to make sure that we get to do both teams at a successful level.
Where you made comment that local coaches are not part of the do you feel your opinion was misinterpreted?
Ideally, in any democratic situation, you are free to express your opinion on an issue. The beauty of it is that the moment the appointment is made, divergent views will have to culminate into one, and that is behind the appointment. We all have a collective responsibility to back the head coach, and to me, that is very important. People tend to forget that Palmer, as a management committee member, is also being evaluated on his own strength and on his own weaknesses. If we also fail to deliver at whatever level that is expected of us, Ghanaians will judge me by our efforts. So people who always go into thinking that Palmer will sabotage the head coach, I tend to laugh it off. If you look at the dichotomy between the technical and the managerial role that we all play, they don't ever meet. I've been on air and told people on several occasions that at any point in time when the management and the technical decisions are in conflict, it's the technical decision that reigns supreme, because that defines the direction of the team. We don't make call-ups. So how on earth will I say that this player that you have called up for this given game, we are not going to approve of it? We don't even have the mandate as a management committee member to double in that. So the roles are clearly defined. And in terms of logistical support, it's the government that gives the bulk of the funding to the FA. So how in any way could Palmer interfere with the processes? So it's clearly established. The moment a decision is made, whether you express the contrary opinion to it or not, you are to back it. That is what we call collective responsibility.
As a member of the Black Stars
party was in place. I was never part of the search party.
And the search party did not seek for the opinion of management committee?
No way. That is what people did not know. Dr. Usu-Ansah, who was a member of the search party, passed the comment. Nobody spoke about it. I wasn't part of the search committee. I wasn't part of the decision-making process because we had a search committee in place. You expressed an opinion and people found something wrong with it. I find it as selective justice.
Do you still stand by your position that no local...
I don't know your name. It's not an issue of whether you still stand by it or you don't stand by it. There is a divergent view, and the divergent view is that a coach has been appointed. So you are rally behind the coach, not your view.
But initially, your view was that no local...
I say, just go beyond your view to that of the collective opinion. That is the decision now. So my view doesn't matter anymore.
So for now, your view doesn't matter, but you just go by what the crowd is following.
It's not what the crowd, what the FA, the decision the FA took, the decision the executive committee took. You have to stand by it. Why would you be of your own island and try to operate as if there is nothing happening? I'll be so stupid to even go into that thinking. It will be proper for you to understand that in any democratic environment, majority have their say.
Then what influenced your decision to...
If you had listened to the interview well, you will know exactly what I was driving at. I said nobody was cast in the mode of CK Jemfi and Osam Dudu. And people misdirected it. These were my exact words. Nobody was cast in the mode of CK Jemfi and Osam Dudu.
So in other words, as we speak currently...
Is it proper for us to move to another issue rather than, harping on that? Because I've already, explained that.
Okay. Touching on the next Black Stars team, we hear Kwesi Appiah...
Coach named his team about 2 days to the competition. He has already submitted a list because by FIFA regulations, we are supposed to meet statutory requirements before the players are released. So as we speak now, I know that a list has been submitted to the FA Secretariat. But as I've told you, on all technical issues, it's the head coach who is in charge of it. So I've not even taken the trouble or the pains to know those who have been invited, because the moment I try to get close to it, there'll be either conflict of interest or I'm trying to poke my nose where I shouldn't be. But I know for a fact that a list has been submitted. The coach has sent his program for the Ethiopian game, and he has clearly indicated that he wants the game to be played at the Kumasi Sports Stadium, Babaya. All these things, I'm privy to it because I'm a member of the committee. And I am of the view that it's a good starting base, because if I know a terrain very well, wherever I want to fly, that will be the spot that I'll pick on to take off. That is what pilots do whenever they are taking off. And to me, the choice of Kumasi is very important. If you look at the second coming of Kwesi Appiah, there's a remarkable distinction between the first time and this now. He wants the fans to be part and parcel of all his decisions. And if I'm in his position, I would have taken the same decision of taking the match to Kumasi, because that's where I started off. That is where I'm known better. And I can easily derive the support from the rank and file within Kumasi. So to me, it's a very good decision. When it was brought to the management committee, we never opposed it, we okayed it, and we are strongly behind it.
You said the list has...
Let me tell you this, never has any member interfered with the process unless there is an information to the effect that a player has been banned or is serving a ban or the player is injured. That is where the medical team will come and point it out to the head coach that this player that you have called up, these are the difficulties that he's going through, and for that matter, he's not available for the match. It could even be that the person has been injured over a given period. We experienced that in the previous, with the previous head coach, that's Avram Grant.
So have you gotten closer to the list? Maybe.
No. I don't want to bother my head with it. You see, people don't know this. At a point in Gabon, during the tournament, George did not know of the selection to a game. We only got to know at the time that information was being released to the media. So when you call George and George tells you, oh, I don't know those who are featuring in this game, you may feel he's not trying to be frank with you. But on the field of, the reality was that we're not shown the list prior to the competition. Because we don't dabble on what? Technical matters. We concentrate on managerial issues.
Okay, thank you. What people have given a very huge vision. I tried asking him whether the team is inheriting. He feels it's not strong enough to satisfy those promises people are asking to get. But one way or the other, personally I felt an answer. Are these targets the FA feels are real?
The targets are real. To say the coach should qualify for the 2019 African Cup of Nations, it's not a big ask. Since 2005, we've qualified to every African Cup of Nations. And since 2008, we've reached the semi-final of every African Cup of Nations. So to ask him that you would want to qualify for the 2019 African Cup of Nations, it's not a big ask at all.
And would he not be under pressure to satisfy that?
If you heard clearly, we said that he must exert himself. It doesn't mean that he would be judged upon whether Ghana qualifies or not. You and I know that we are already on the back foot in the qualifiers. Egypt has 6 points, we have 1. So to put a coach and ask him to qualify as a as a condition for him staying would be unfair. So that is why we've said that he should exert himself to ensure that we qualify. But that doesn't mean that he'll be judged based on that.
Do the FA feel that the team Avram Grant left behind is good enough to qualify for the World Cup Cameroon 2019?
We have a very, very good team. We have a stable team. But we still think that there are players maybe on the fringes of the squad, on the edges of the team, players who might not have had the chance in previous times might be able to do something. That is why we've asked him to look again, and he has also committed himself to invigorating the squad with more players. And also you find that when local players are given the opportunity to come into the national team itself, they are unable to settle. That is why Kwesi has decided by himself that he wants to hold regular campaign for the local Black Stars. So when there's an opportunity for a local player to play in the national team, he would find it easy in settling down. I don't think it's too much of an ask.
Look at what you just stated. It means that this is going to be a building process. Wouldn't the FA put him under pressure if he fails to get things right?
It's a dual process. A national team, you never have the time to say you are collapsing the national team and build a new one. You don't have that luxury. It's not like a team where you can also go, a club side, where you can go and buy players. come and fix them in. What you have as Ghanaians is what you use. So you just have to reinvigorate the squad, do it side by side. But would Ghanaians be able to forgive us when we say that you should not qualify for the African Cup of Nations? No Ghanaian will forgive us if we say that. So it will have to be a mix of the two. Thank you.
I expect him to bring stability into the team and bring the team back to winning ways. That's what I expect. He's a coach of the national team A, and I expect him to win matches. That's the tax we've given to Kwesi Appiah. I never said this.
When he was going deeper,
no, I never stopped him. I never stopped. We were all here. I never stopped. I never stopped.
Issues concerning the list.
Which list?
Issues concerning
things. The report of Avram Grant. Kwesi Appiah has got nothing to do with the report of Avram Grant. If for anything at all, it's the GFA. Because Kwesi Appiah didn't engage with Avram Grant. It is the GFA that engaged Avram Grant. So if there are reports that he needs, it's the GFA that he has to speak to so that we get the report for him. It was not like issues of, he has not engaged Avram Grant. The GFA engaged.
I have a feeling that the team Kwesi Appiah is inheriting is not in the best of shape. That's why you're asking to build a strong team. How qualify Ghana?
We have always said that build a strong team. Anybody that is tasked to coach any of our national team, if even the under-17 coach is given a job, we ask you to build a very strong national under-17 team. Every coach is tasked. When these people say that the team that Kwesi Appiah is inheriting, why didn't Avram Grant inherit a team that went to disappointing 2014 World Cup? So there's always a pool of Ghanaians players who are doing very well, and once you are appointed, you are expected to select the best of materials available at the time to form a very strong national team.
We are all saying that the task you're giving to him is a bit tough because we know that the team's chances of qualifying for
we asked Kwesi Appiah to qualify with the Ghana Black Stars to Africa 2019. Is that a big task? We asked Kwesi Appiah to try and win Africa 2019. I don't think it's a big task. We said he should employ his possible best to qualify us. Why? Are we not in competition to qualify to the World Cup? We have played 2 matches, we have 4 matches to go. We want to qualify. So we say employ your best tactics and your best knowledge and whatever you can do to qualify us. I don't think it's a big task. It's a modest task. We say use your best. You try your best. And that I don't see anybody using that kind of language can say that it's a no. Yes, it's a difficult task. Qualifying in itself, even if Kwesi Appiah has started from match 1, it's still a difficult task. But there's no guarantee that we are winning match 1, match 2. And so therefore, even right from beginning, when you accept the appointment, it's a big task. And so we are saying that use your best possible means to help qualify the team. And I don't think that we have been difficult. We are ready. I mean, this job is a marriage. We are working together. Kwesi Appiah succeed, we succeed. Kwesi Appiah fail, we fail. That's what we need to understand. And so far, we are with him all the way. We are with him 100% and wants to make sure that we'll build him up, we'll help him to succeed, because he succeed, we succeed together. He fails, we fail together.